Hey people, so this is my engine. It's a Volvo Penta MD11D. It says 3000 series there, but that's not right, it's just one of the parts. And I got the double alternator thing, with one for the motor battery and one for the house bank. And as you can see here, it says MD11D, that's the model number for this Volvo Penta. My problem now is that this exhaust elbow is rusted. So you can see that is not going to hold for long, and then I will suddenly have raw water squishing into my boat. I don't want that. So I gotta change it. I bought a new one. I don't know about the gaskets. So the thing to do here, if I understand my Mr. Diesel right, is I have to just disconnect everything, clean all the connections thoroughly and make sure they're super flat and super clean, and then put it all together and it should be fine. So I will start with that. Wish me luck. Last time on She Rules the Waves, I hauled out and gave the outside of Alva the love she deserved after a long winter in the water. This time I'll do some maintenance on my trusty old Volvo Penta, changing the exhaust elbow, the filters and the raw water pump. I really love your support, so feel free to comment, hit the thumbs up, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so the first thing that I have to do here is take care of this one. It's where the exhaust and the raw cooling water goes out into the exhaust pipe. And as you can see, hopefully down there, it's rusted. So that one gonna come out, and I have to put in a new one. So let's do that.
And there was much rejoicing.
Alright, success. I got it out. I'm so hot right now, I'm gonna die, but you know, it was worth it. And look at this, I mean, this is not far from totally rusted through. That would have been not nice. Get water gushing into the engine room. Not so good. Well, I'll just put in the new one. Alright, that looks good. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this works. coming. That's a good sign. Alright, so first things first, after I change the exhaust elbow, I need to change the fuel filters, the oil filter and the impeller. I'm not gonna do an in-depth version of this because there's already so many of those online. The one that I used for you Swedish-speaking people is the one by Linda Lindenau, which you can check out up there. And yeah, so the first thing you have to do is locate where your fuel tank is and find the fuel tap or fuel cock. In my case, it's here. And then you follow the line and then it comes to the pre-filter, which is this one over here. I also noticed that I have an actual pump over there. And I think I'm going to be very happy to do that when I'm priming the system afterwards. Then you follow the fuel pump. In my case, it goes around under the floorboards here and comes up here to this little thing. And here is also the actual primer pump that you use when you prime the system. So that's the first thing. Then you change this filter and later on the oil filter. And then when you're done with those, this is the impeller. And I can already see here that I have some corrosion and grime and stuff there. So it's going to be cleaned. All right. Let's go. So I put a little paper in the bottom and use an old PHE soda bottle that I cut out. So it will hopefully catch the excess diesel and water that's going to empty from this filter. Then you reach in down here, you try to unscrew this little ventilation screw. Which is not as easy as it looks always. But you can remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Then the fuel ends up in the little bottle that you made here, hopefully. So now I'm just gonna have to try to get it out of there and change the filter. And working with HVO 100 as I do, when you do spill, which you probably will eventually, it makes the whole process a lot less awful. Alright, time to put it back, and I must say I don't think I've ever actually seen a fuel filter this clean. And this was HVO 100 for the win. This is 2 years old now, so I mean, not this one is brand new, but the one that I took out was two years old, so that means it was super clean, and I'm very impressed. So I'm changing this, and as you can see, I actually wrote June 2021 on it, so that me or the next owner or whoever changes this one next time knows that when it changed. So I also make sure that the little airing screw on the bottom is facing this way, so it's going to be a little easier to open it up the next time. Like that. When I take my camera down under, you can see there are two gaskets that needs to be changed, right? The one in the middle and the one in the ring. So that can be a little hard to get to, but with a fine screwdriver, you'll probably make it work. There you go. So the next step is the other fuel filter, the fine filter, and that one is just you just screw it off like this. Maybe you can do it by hand, maybe you have to have a tool, but be careful because it's full of diesel, so don't spill anything. And then, after you spill, and even though you said you shouldn't, you'd clean that up, and then you put in the new one. And then it's just pretty much finding the angle to get it in there, and then finding the screw, and then it's all good. Like that. And finally, if everything is made the way it's supposed to be, you open up the fuel tap once again and prime it, and then you should be done. So if you only have that little thing, it's going to take time. But if you are a couple of people, you can actually start the engine a little bit, or the starter a little bit to get the fuel pumping. Or if you, like me, have this special solution, you can try that. Just hand pumping it. And then you could actually see the diesel, or HVO 100 in my case, coming in there. See, there you go. And then we keep our fingers crossed that there's no leaks. Remember, when you're going to prime the system back up, you have to open the air, so the air can come out of the system, or nothing will happen. So then, just pump like this forever. And once you have gotten all the air out of the system, you just, wipe up the rest of the diesel and put the screw back together. And then we'll try to start the motor and see if it works. Sometimes you have to air it out a little bit more after the system has been run through, but we'll see if it starts. Keep your fingers crossed. Alright, so here is my first trouble. I actually changed the oil filter too. I didn't show you that. That worked fine. I've been driving the engine for a while. That works fine. Now I'm changing the impeller, and the first thing that happens is that the head of this screw pops right off. And the other two got out just fine, and this one is just impossible. So I'm gonna fight with that, and I assume I'm gonna break that one too. I'll get back to you. Well, I couldn't save the old raw water pump, and I decided to replace it. The new one was a breeze to install though, and the engine is running better than ever. Next time I'll get back to sailing when I take Alva around Skåne for a summer of sailing in the Blekinge archipelago. I'll also pop in soon with a little more information on the upcoming plans of a new boat and some Mediterranean adventures. So, until next time, take care.